Well, the milestone achieved by the regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Most of his shuttles abroad have started paying dividends for the good of our nation. Today, the bilateral air services agreement has been signed between both countries, Brazil and Nigeria. And I'm sure you heard when President Lula of Brazil said that Nigeria's largest carrier, Airpeace, has been designated to implement this BASA by running scheduled flight operations into and out of Brazil to Nigeria. So it's a milestone in the sense that the connectivity is something long overdue, and our dear president has made it possible for this to come into fruition today. It will open up both economies. The Brazilian economy is the largest in Latin America. The Nigerian economy is the largest in Africa. So both countries are very rich, both in human and natural resources. They need to tap into this, but without aviation, it will be very, very difficult for some of these things to be actualized. You know, aviation is a catalyst for further development, and today is a significant milestone that has been achieved, and we are very glad about it.
In terms of actual operations, when do we hope for you to start fully? When should Nigeria
Yeah,
expect?
we are looking forward to starting at about towards the last week of November into December this year.
How many flights a week?
We cannot start daily flights for now, but we want to start with three weekly flights. That's 3 flights a week for the time being. But as we go on, we develop the route and we can increase the frequency.
As in Abuja towards the Sao Paulo, let's just be specific. The route.
We told the Brazilians that we want to do Lagos, Lagos, Rio, Sao Paulo, then and back to Lagos like that. That's taking people going to both cities and dropping people in both cities before coming back to Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, after yesterday's engagement, what are the key takeaways, the benefits of this visit?
Quite a number of takeaways. I think the first one is the fact that what has become passive over the years and the decades, we've had the president that has had the presence of mind and the commitment and the political will to reawaken and restart this process. That's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we did hear President Lula da Silva actually make reference to that at the press briefing, saying some 2 decades ago, this was started and then nothing happened. And he was wondering why. We have so many commonalities, we share opportunities, and I think so. At the point we are now, I think the major takeaway is that we have Nigeria and Brazil back at the table. But more importantly, you have 2 leaders who have been forged in the crucible of democratic struggle. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was jailed for challenging military dictatorship. Lula da Silva, because of the internal politics of this country, was jailed for over 1.5 years. These are democratic soldiers. They understand what it means that democracy without development comes to nothing. So we've come to a point in our history as a country, or for both countries, where I have leaders who are propelled by the same desires for development, the same desires to empower their people, the same desire to use the resources of their country to be able to push forward the South-South cooperation. And I think that's the major takeaway for me. But then there's a couple of other low-hanging fruits. We see the agricultural mechanization that has been on since 2019, now restarted this year under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We see the cultural exchange been coming up, and I think the biggest is the direct flight, the BASA that was signed under the aviation. And you look at the 5 MOUs signed yesterday, they were very strategic. One for funding in agriculture, our Bank of Agriculture and the International Bank for Development from this country. That's the first MOU. The BASA, aviation, very, very critical. Science and technology. This country's rise, this country's ability to lead the South. This country's position as the largest economy in Latin America was buoyed and supported by science and technology. And when we were at the Binational yesterday, the woman in charge, she spoke about how markets have opened up, the genetics market and several other markets for this economy, and inviting Nigeria to say, this market is open for you, come join us in this market so we can go forward. So I think the MOUs were key, 5 of them, when you look at the others that have come before under the Binational Commission. And going forward, I think if we're able to set up a task force that will take this forward, the immediate benefits will start. Already tomorrow, we know there's an airpeace flight going to Abuja tomorrow. We know that in another 1 or 2 weeks, Lagos and Sao Paulo will just be a dash, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. These are major open skies between two countries. I think we're seeing a new vista that will energize the effort and the reform started by Mr. President in terms of diversification, in terms of opportunities for our young people. Their skills program in this country is one of the best. An MOU was signed yesterday. Another one will be signed. Smidan is here, Naseni is here. So the youth of our country already should be happy that this president is breaking the frontiers for them, not just resources within our country, but also networking across the Atlantic for the benefit of our young people.